The following program was paid for by Southern American Media.
Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie, and officially your weekend is over.
It's back to work, back to the grind, and hey, what better way to spend this early morning is to get up and spend it with us on TV.
There you go. We're at 45 degrees, wind chill still around 39. It will make it to 60, but you're going to have this thing called a breeze going, about 20 mile an hour gust. Winds 10 to 15, but that gust will go up to 20, so it'll cut you for a little while this morning. It's
going to be nippy. It's going to help dry out.
It will.
But it's going to be nippy.
So, as an ex-farmer, what do you suggest with the freeze warning coming tonight and through Wednesday with this? Well, all your plants that are pretty, what do you suggest?
Bring them in if you can. But, you know, in our area right here, we're probably going to see 33, 32 for the most part. Some of our northern part of the county I can see dip down.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not going to be too bad. It's not going to be all day long. So maybe it won't be too bad. I wouldn't go out and cover all my trees. And my beautiful pear tree's probably going to
not make it,
be
so
gone.
Bloom's going to go away.
Bloom, I mean, it's beautiful right now. Tomorrow might be different.
You need to do something with your sister. She's already bragging that she has a job, that she gets spring break off.
I guess you can go spend it with her mule.
A lot of folks will. You'll see a lot less travel. It always affects the way things are. School buses. We've got spring break this week, and it changes things. I know that they're going to do a lot of things in downtown Meridian for the kids over at the Children's Museum. Activities throughout the week. We'll talk about that this week of all the different events that are going on.
Yeah, and we're trying to get something together, and it's a little late, but look, one thing that y'all need to do, and everybody needs to do, is spring break. A lot of people are going to the beach.
I've heard tell of that.
This summer, a lot more people around here is going to the beach. Guys, the beach is dangerous.
Are you talking about Collinsville Beach, or are you talking about the big one down south?
Talking about the big one down south. And it's dangerous. You've got to be able to read these waves and see what a riptide is. And we're working on a class to put out to the public so everybody can really learn this, so you can bring your kids, and we'll keep you posted on that. But very dangerous. But everybody stay safe this week.
Let's see, Ricky Roberts is up stirring today. Miss LaWanda Grantham, Steve and Wanda McKinney, they're up joining us also there. And Miss Connie Johns, we do appreciate y'all watching each
Good
day.
morning. Yes, definitely.
Well, let's get into a few things that have happened over the last 24 to 48 hours. And as we go this morning, let's look at, we need to start where it all began. As we go out to Collinsville this morning. If you haven't read so far this morning, there was a robbery that happened right around midnight last night, 12:30. And let me pull this up where you can see this screen here. Let's see, that one right there. As you'll see there, this is the Cefco in Collinsville at the four-way stop. And this is what we got from the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department of what happened. I'll read you the statement. Ward sent this in to us, said that approximately at 12:30 this morning, 911 dispatchers were notified that a single black male wearing all black clothing with his face concealed by a mask entered the Cefco at the 9100 block of Highway 19. That's at the four-way there. The suspect was armed with a gun, then robbed the store and left running toward Collinsville Road. And this would be over toward the Piggly Wiggly and that area. Deputies responded a few minutes later. Information came in, we got a guest outside, that this had happened in the city limits of Meridian. And that's exactly what happened. The Exxon store, hello, little girl. Hello, we got
two of them in here now.
Nothing like your dogs coming to visit you.
Live TV.
And they open doors themselves now. That big one can do that. But we had two stores robbed last night. And as we move to our next story, let's go on here and look at what we've got at the next robbery that occurred. And there's going to be similarities involved in this.
Yeah.
Was that you or the dog?
Yeah, my old stomach, just going this morning. It's. You remember when, I want to say it was the late 70s, we had problems like this in convenience stores.
Right.
And so they stuck somebody in the cooler with a shotgun.
And caught them?
Well, if you went in there, you wasn't going to come out the way you went in.
And that was store owners is that what
That was doing that, yeah. And if this keeps up, I think that's one way to get back to it. You stick somebody in there with a shotgun.
It'll make people scared to do that.
Yeah.
Here's the scene of the next one, what went on last night, right here. Now, if you'll remember, this was the scene of, well, it's been robbed several times in our community, but we had 2 males that were killed there last year.
Yeah.
That was robbed sometime around 1 a.m. They had to drive from Collinsville to Meridian. Now, we're not saying, but there are a lot of similarities. I do know that from this store, Newport cigarettes and cash were taken. And I'm hearing that it's possibly the same thing that was taken in Collinsville, so it makes it the same person, even as they worded it. A lot of similarities. Will they be caught? We certainly hope so. If you saw something last night between 12:30, a vehicle that looks suspicious, even in Meridian, call authorities. They really want to know about this.
If you saw a car that was pulling out of the parking lot at a high rate of speed or anything, call and let that be known what type of vehicle it is. And they've got cameras out. They can start pulling that feed and narrowing it down to about that time frame, that type of car, and pull a tag off of it. So any information can go a long ways by solving these types of crimes.
And are these the same group that we had named the Newport Bandits? It possibly could be the ones that maybe they've stepped up a notch, going from cutting the power and robbing them after they close to doing it. We don't know that, but they are taking the same product is why I connect the two.
And I guess Newport's a high dollar commodity.
Easy to sell is what that is.
Well,
as you're saying, well sought after.
Yeah, I was a Marlboro Red man myself.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Yeah, so I might. Of course, one reason I quit was I'm not paying them prices for it.
It has changed.
Wow, $5 a pack.
How much is it now?
$5.
Oh no,
$6.
you're on the low end. I've seen $6 and $7 now for those.
That's a good thing I quit. I'd be broke.
2-pack habit will put you in the poorhouse nowadays.
You dang right. Man, that was tough.
Hang on a second. We need to show our visitor.
And she's going to hop down now. She was just sitting right up there just as pretty as could be.
Oh, have mercy. That's a few of the things that started off last night. And robbery is never good. Thank heavens that none of our convenience store workers were injured in this.
And you know, you can't tell them, you know, hey, fight back or whatever else. So when you've got a gun in there, that's the best thing to do. Give them what they want. Let them get through with what they're wanting to do and get out of there to keep them safe.
Right.
But yeah, it's any information you can give to the police or the sheriffs, and they can start doing a lot of research and pull that up. There she is.
She wanted to come back and visit again today.
Yeah. Hey, girl.
They break loose and just come on over. Yeah, go over there and see Uncle Odie there for a minute.
Come on. Climb on over here.
Now, there's nothing worse, and I think there's no one alive that hadn't been somewhere and all of a sudden their car breaks down. You've been there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is what happened. A lady come to town. I spoke to her yesterday. She went to town. She's leaving Meridian. She gets back on I-20. Right here, you know, where you get back on there coming from where the downtown area, Sam sits up on the hill, crossroads. She gets on I-20 headed east. She doesn't quite make it to the Jimmy Rogers Parkway, and her car cuts out. She coasts to the side of the road. She gets a call. She gets a ride home. Comes back 12 hours later to pick up her car with a wrecker, and guess what? Let's show some pictures.
Catalytic converter.
There you go. Cut out from underneath her car. And as you'll see, right there is where the Sawzall cut it off, and they stole this from her car. Now, as she pointed out, my car wasn't worth a whole lot, but it was my runaround car. It would cost more now to fix that, to put the catalytic converter back on, than the entire car's worth.
Yeah.
People work hard for what they've got, and we've got people that want to take what you got.
I just don't understand it. And yeah, there's some value in that if you tear it down and get the precious metals out of it. I understand that. But at the same time, I mean, you're destroying these people who are trying to be involved in society, enjoy their life, and then you don't want to be a productive member, so you want to go out and steal everything. And I think there's a a wonderful place for you to go.
Yep. They'll give you a ride in that.
You know, I'm not saying that this is what should happen to every one of them, but there was a fella in, I believe it was Savannah, Georgia.
What happened there?
He wanted to steal a catalytic converter, so he jacked up the car, climbed under there, and while he was cutting the catalytic converter away, the car fell.
Ooh, karma is what you were saying.
Karma got him, and he's going to the big judge in the sky.
Ooh, have mercy. Things like that are awful. This did happen in the city limits of Meridian right there before you get to the Jimmy Rogers exit. We'll have more on that. We got a lot more coming up this morning as we bring it to you live from here in the Meridian area. Scotty Ray along with Odie this morning. Put a smile on. It's going to be good.
Sip and Savor is back in downtown Meridian. Chef Jimmy Kennedy will headline this year's festival, bringing an outdoorsman spin on elevated Southern cuisine. Taking the main stage is country music artist Levi Hammond. Sample over 50 chefs and distilleries visiting from all over the South to showcase their award-winning dishes. Experience the culinary tradition of the South like you never have before.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of your car needs at 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
And welcome back. If you were out eating or enjoying yourself Saturday night and you heard some woo-woo lights, and when I say woo-woo lights, loud woo-woo cops. Highway 19, to be more specific, it would be a car zooming by. It was a white pickup truck getting on down the highway. Well, let's go to footage from right there as we get pictures and live update as the suspect tried to outrun the Meridian Police Department. They made it all the way to, well, where Owls is there, the back porch, took a right. Quickly took a left turn on Cricket Road, which tells you they don't know where they're going.
No, that's not a very high travel getaway road. Yeah, you can get boxed in right there pretty quick.
Now, they would come back out on Highway 19 and make it to about where the fire department is, where Cicalina, right there. And here's the scene of what we've got there as they crashed. There you go. There's law enforcement on the scene and the truck in the ditch there as they lost control of the vehicle and wrecked. Now, no word as to what went on. We've asked, sent emails to MPD to find out a little bit more about this, but we do know what happened. They did crash, and whoever was in the car was taken into custody. We do not know the charges, but we're pretty sure that there was some extensive fleeing involved in some of those charges.
Yeah, I mean, why else would you run?
You got something,
it makes no sense.
You got something that you don't want found in a vehicle, as always.
And maybe that was the reason going down a back road. I don't know.
Throw something out the window.
Throw something out the window. I know me and Amy we had to take a quick run down south and turn around. We were coming back Saturday, and we're sitting at 65th Avenue and Highway 19 right in front of the old Walmart. And all of a sudden, there goes the city cop. And I was like, well, he's going pretty quick. And I said, I wonder what's going on. And as we come on up back towards the house, I said, well, he's booking on out towards that way. So he's chasing somebody. And the closer we got to the house, I said, well, looks like they've got him over here in a ditch. So
that was the same one you come along about?
That was the same one. We were right behind it. I was like, man, ain't that something? I'm glad we didn't get in front of that car.
I got a lot of calls about that. Speeds reached about 120 miles an hour at one point. He was determined to get away. And that was, let me back up on that. Assume it was a gentleman driving. That's an assumption on that. I have not officially been told that from the police department. But however you want to say it, that's a mess of what went on there.
The hardest thing to do is outrun a radio.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things, but that will not happen.
Yeah.
We've done a few changes over the weekend, as you can tell with the look here, and we've also installed a new computer. And as we went live with a thunderstorm warning yesterday, I quickly found out that we had an issue. It just turned off. So far, Odie, we've made it 15 minutes. We've made it past the issue that happened yesterday.
So we're good.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
That's right.
Whenever you install new products, there's always an issue, and I have turned into the issue king.
You can solve it now.
We're getting better at this, but hopefully this is going to fix a lot of problems that we've had in the past. And I just want to say thank you to everybody being patient as we learn and go about this.
And now they want out.
They're seeing somebody out there.
Yes. Hey.
Down the hallway. They're just all happy about this. Another thing that happened is I brought up that thunderstorm yesterday. Let's look at this. This would be right across the line. I would show you the video, but it's just too loud with the hail hitting the roof. Here we go to look at this. This is hail that passed through Clark County and then on into the Alabama line. Y'all look how big this is.
And that right there, that'll hurt.
Yeah. You talking about damaging a car?
Yes.
Wow. Look
your
at this.
Roof, everything.
Look how big that is in the hand.
Yeah, that's scary when you see hail. It's too warm to have that, but that storm and that temperature way up there in the sky is well below freezing. And when it comes down and it doesn't have time to melt before it gets to us, here we are.
Yeah.
And that's an ideal storm right there. Now you've got hot air, cold air, and you start really needing to pay attention when you see that coming across.
So that's a few things that happened with the storms yesterday. Fortunately, there was no major damage, and we're all tickled over that. And let's hope it stays away. A reminder, though, now as we get into the springtime, it always brings storms in the spring through the end of May, leading up to the stuff that happens with the hurricanes in June. But from now through the end of May, April being one of the biggest months that we always have. Y'all be prepared and be ready for what might be coming along. Joseph said, "Are you sure it's not the computer and the operator?" Boy, let me tell y'all, I've had some operator issues through the years here. Each day is a new one of what I touch. How did that happen? But that was computer issued, and we've done a bunch of upgrades, and hopefully that will work. We got screens everywhere now.
It's always good. See, even we've got a better view of us for y'all to enjoy this morning.
I like that a lot better. We're going to change the other side of the room for guests as well. That'll be here sometime this week to make that upgrade. And if you'll look up, I haven't got that turned on yet, but above your head there, we've got another camera that can zoom around the room, and it's got a remote to it. Odie, you're going to be in charge of the remote. Do a headshot.
We're going to have fun up in here.
I just hadn't got it hooked up to here. I wanted to make sure everything else worked before I went putting new stuff.
One at the time. When we were racing all the time, you don't fix a whole bunch of stuff on the car in between the races. You do a little at a time, and if you do too much, we call that NASCARing it. So we don't want to NASCAR it and get everything in here at one time before we can.
Bob McNee says he can make an IT guy cry. I understand that.
That's a tough job sometimes.
Sandy Johnson watching us from Marion this morning. We appreciate you so much. Hope your day is going well there. And a lot of folks are going to be doing things with grandkids this week that they don't get to see them all the time.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be great. And nothing like having your grandkids around. I need to get mine more often. I don't see them as much as I want to because they're right down the road. And then by the time it turns around, it's like, well, Lord, it's been a week.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's look at the next thing. I got word that something was happening, and I don't have all the details, but we do know that the entire Meridian Fire Department showed up to get them a hamburger over at Burger King this weekend.
Well,
I don't think it was a cooking, though.
It wasn't a barbecue, is that?
That's right. As we look at this, firefighters showed up. And let's cut to this video of just to show you how many were there as we look at this scene. Now, again, we don't know all the details that went on, but they showed up in force there to put out. I think it had something to do with smoke that's happened before, but they were making sure they were saving the building. Thumbs up on the guys doing their job, doing a good job on that.
That's when you have a structure fire, you're at minimum going to get 3 engines, the rescue, and then of course your battalion chief's going to be there. and then you're liable to have an investigator to be there as well to find out what it is. So talking about getting there quick and getting there in force, Meridian Fire Department has got it together.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to get there and get everything took care of as quick as possible.
We'll be right back. We've got some more stuff to tell you about, some incidents and accidents that happened over the weekend. We'll be right back.
Looking for the answer to the questions that are sure to come later today? You know, what's for lunch or what's for supper? That answer is El Norte Mexican Restaurant with 3 convenient locations in Meridian. Whether you're in the mood for one of their delicious, authentic dishes or their famous fish tacos, or maybe it's their large drink selection that pique your interest. Remember, their combo meals are buy one, get one free every Tuesday from 3 p.m. till close. The Mariachi Band performs at their 22nd Avenue location the first Thursday of each month. We will see you at El Norte Mexican Restaurant, 22nd Avenue Heights, North Hill Street, and Highway 19 North.
Have you ever played in a mariachi band? I'm just curious.
I've never played in one. I've listened to a few of them.
You ever sang along with them?
I've hummed along with them.
I have absolutely no clue as to what they sing.
I don't either. But it sounds good. I love the instruments.
Oh, let's see. Good morning all the way to Enterprise, going out to Miss Deanne Richardson. Thank you for joining us. Jeff Lewis is up.
Oh, Jeff, good morning there. Man, good morning to everybody. We appreciate y'all coming and spending your mornings with us and listen to us, have fun,
Yeah.
and tell you what's taking place over the weekend and get you started on this gloomy Monday, little chilly outside. And
As we mentioned, accidents happened, Odie, and we'll start in the Clarkdale community first, as we don't have close-ups on this, but we do know that a wreck happened yesterday afternoon. A car lost control and would slam into a tree. As we go here to take a look at this, and this slowed traffic on Highway 45. This was just down from the outpost. Is where this would happen there. As we look here, and as emergency officials had the roadblock there for just a little while, as wreckers and things got that cleaned up. It was a bunch of that.
Yeah, it was. We were on the interstate early yesterday morning with another wreck, and it's all during wet roads. Be mindful when the roads are wet, that they get slick.
Let me show you I-20. This would happen right before you get to the 153 22nd Avenue, of just how quick an incident slows down traffic. This is I-20 coming from 150 to the airport. This is the 29th Avenue Bridge, and if you'll look at this, look how slow traffic was moving.
And I need to go back and pull up that information. I've got it somewhere, but the amount of traffic that we have that comes through Meridian on I-20, 59, it is outrageous.
It's a number of folks, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, we're millions of traffic, but you're east to west in a highly populated north to south highway, I-59, and then you're east and west, I-20, merged together right here in Meridian.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of traffic.
A shame we can't do that to draw more business here with so many directions coming in.
It would be a good idea.
Yeah,
Don't we have Highway 45 too?
Yeah, I was just thinking out loud. What a great place to move business.
They're going to park on the interstate, right? They were looking for a burger joint or something.
This is what you have to be careful when it rains. Somebody lose control here. Fortunately, this didn't turn into an accident, but a car stalled during bad weather I think that was the 29th. That was Grand Avenue is where that happened.
Yeah, right there on top of, I guess, where would that be? By the old fairgrounds.
Yes, right along in there, where the tractor place is to the right.
Yeah.
Jerome Lee says we need 6 lanes. Boy, it would help, wouldn't it?
It really would, and we do need to get a third lane on either side. And I know it wouldn't be the easiest task in the world, but a little bit of an upgrade on our roads would definitely help with the traffic. We have roads that really need to be repaired, not just recovered.
Wait a minute. We've got one-way streets. All is good.
I hate those things.
There ain't a personal line.
I've had to make 10 left turns to get back to.
You cannot convince me. I don't care what officials tell you and how they say it. That's got to hurt business, because if somebody can't get there, they go.
I go somewhere else.
Yeah. I really believe that.
So Walgreens. If you look, one of their business models is we will not build anywhere unless it's on a corner. We're going to have two ways to get in, get out. And Walmart, they're always
looking for 80 ways to get in there.
looking for 80 ways, but they're always on the exit part of town.
Right.
You don't ever see them when you're coming into town. It's always on your exit part of town.
Got to come in there.
Got to come in there.
Some thoughts.
So that's it.
But and I feel for the businesses that were already there, and then they changed it to one way, and you're just there. So something to think on.
And parking.
Yeah.
You can't even go down parts of 8th Street because the parking space they give you is only 4 feet long. You got an 8-foot vehicle where you're stuck out into the next lane.
Yeah, I ain't talking about somebody I rode with tried to park the other day.
We got there, didn't we?
couldn't fit the parking place.
Well, they painted them little parking places too narrow.
Am I imagining this, folks? Y'all are out more than I am. Do we need to make parking places great again? Because I think they have shrunk.
They have.
They like maybe trying to fit more people into a parking lot and.
Well, we went from our phones. We went from a big bag phone and that big phone we held on to. Then all of a sudden, the big trend was these little bitty phones that you could stick in your pocket. And now we're going back to these great big phones. The same with our vehicles. We had those big land yachts.
Loved them.
And loved them. And then we went to the little compact cars where they narrowed the parking spaces down. And now we're all getting back to trucks and bigger cars. We still got compact size parking places.
Yes, we do.
Then you get mad when somebody takes up 1.5 and then you park and go, well,
have you ever tried to get out of your car and you need a skinny peel to get out? And your gut gets hung on the. This is just things that happen around here. Let's see here. Jeff Cleveland says, hey, they have enough trouble maintaining 2 lanes. What would happen if we had 6? You got a point. Got a point there. And also, we had Anita say that she wants her hour back. Yeah, we have moved to daylight savings time, and my wife said to tell you, Odie, you are wrong.
Uh-oh.
She done the Dr. Google on you, and the law has not passed. She said that it is not official yet.
Uh-oh. Well, we need to hurry up and make it official. I need to go back and look because Google lied at me.
Uncle Google. And see if she's wrong, because not just because she said it, because she tries to convince me all the time she's right on everything.
How many times have you told her she wasn't right?
I just mind my own business.
Yeah, here we go. See, we are smart. We're not multi-talented, but we're smart.
Right. We're smarter than the average bear, though. 7:27 as we begin your day. Y'all don't rush off. We'll be right back with more information as more things to tell you. On the way. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. O's, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
You've heard us talk in the last few weeks about career changes, and maybe it is time for a career change. And this is one of those, if you've ever watched Mike Rowe, there's money to be made in this world, and MCC is there to take you to that next level. And let's talk about industrial maintenance technician, changing jobs.
We've got all kind of industry here that has to have maintenance personnel on call, on scene, working. Not just somebody they call in, but somebody that they hire as an employee.
That's right.
And you can get that education certification right here local in Meridian at MCC.
They'll do that for you. It's a 2-year program. When you come out, there's lots of industry here, as you just mentioned here. Manufacturing. There's also, even hospitals need folks to work on things. Banks do. Who's that guy? It could be you. Call them today at MCC to find out more about this. 484-8793 is the first step towards this, of changing it. And I know this is not part of that. But even, the air conditioning guy. Man, think about that.
And they do the HVAC at MCC.
Yes.
So you can do it all right here local. But now this time of year,
man, it's your time to shine.
You dadgum right, 'cause your air goes out and people are calling. I want somebody now. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Get up. I'll pay you.
MCC, visit them today for a new career path. It could really change things for you.
Yep.
We are already at 7:30 this morning, believe that or not. Time is flying, Odie.
Halfway through.
All right. It's that time of day. Let me go over here. Now, with this also, y'all just have to work with me as we've added some more screens in the studio, and I'm learning to navigate out in front of us, and we ain't got this camera to show you yet, but off to our east, or that would be northeast. We've got this huge display over here where we can actually read this from Mars.
We can see it. I can see it with or without glasses.
Yeah, it's humongous. I hate that I can't show it, but we will one day. But it's time to step back in time and look at a few things that happened on this day. And the name of this guy, I kept looking at his picture going, I know this guy, and I can't place what he was in. And I'm sure he's been in other movies, but I giggled and laughed along with this. Do y'all remember watching Wild Hogs?
Oh, man. And he is a good actor.
He played the little nerdy part, didn't he?
Yeah, he was one that was always cautious.
Yeah.
Wild Hogs, that was a good little
If you've never watched that, of guys in their upper 40s, maybe 50s, decide to go on a motorcycle trip and leave their wives for the weekend.
And they had a heck of a story to tell when they got back.
Yeah, I love that part where they got down there where they burnt the bar down. And what's his name that does the home improvement shows? The unveil of the new bar. That was funny. I don't care who
It was a good movie.
So check that out. Let's see here a few other things that went on today. Let's go back to 1948. I had these two out of it. I don't know her real name, and I really don't understand anything she says. But it's her birthday, they think. They have no clue really as to what the actual year was. Best guesses are 48. But you remember Charo? Do you pronounce it that?
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't ever get over her voice, and I'm like you. I couldn't understand a whole lot. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people liked her, though, but maybe they weren't listening to her. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe they were doing more observations than listening to her.
Maybe she told them when her birthday was, but they didn't figure it out.
Boy, y'all want to talk about a good Western? This came out on this day. It hit theaters in 1956. One of my favorite actors. He's probably my number 2 guy. Anybody remember this? The Searchers. John Wayne. You remember that one?
I don't remember that one, but I like John Wayne and just about every movie he's done.
The little girl that was kidnapped, and they search for her for years, and by the time they find her, she's a grown woman.
Wow.
Interesting. And they're trying to get her to come on back home. Check that out.
We might have to do that, The Searchers.
John Wayne.
Yeah.
That's all you got to remember. Now, I remember this as a kid. This was, some of you will remember this movie, some of you won't. 1971, and I remember it because even I guess as a kid, cars were starting to I was starting to like them. Mm-hmm. They would wreck a Challenger at the end into 2 bulldozers. He was going to outrun them. Well, you can't hit a bulldozer and make it. Anybody remember this movie, Vanishing Point?
I did go back and watch that.
Wasn't as good as you had that sound in your voice there.
Well, and I'm trying to remember if I really liked it or not. I liked the car shows like that, and I loved the chases.
Why did he run it into the bulldozers? All he had to do was turn around.
Well, yeah, because he's not going to move him out of the way.
No. There's some thoughts there. Can you sing or spell it out, divorce?
Divorce.
Yep. It happened on this day in 1975 when George and Tammy would call it quits. It was official today.
I tell you what, that was a pair right there, wasn't it?
It was. He'd later marry again. I think they both did. Yeah. 1979, we all watched Three's Company, but this would be a spinoff from Three's Company. Anybody remember The Ropers?
I think I watched a couple of them, and I can't believe that it lasted over a year.
Stanley?
Yeah.
They were great on Three's Company. It just didn't work out.
And most of them don't.
They don't.
Most of your spinoffs don't really mature into anything that's worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I loved this movie. That was the number one song, and that's what happened on this date. But as you go back to Scott Glenn, if you ever watched it, and there's a lot of folks at rodeo. Anybody rodeo? Where there comes a point in time where after you get through rodeo and you need, well, another career to fall back on. Well, Scott Glenn was at that point in his life. His dad was getting in bad health. And the movie come from the song, anybody remember? My heroes have always been cowboys. Willie was number one on this day.
And I like some good Willie.
Yeah.
Everybody ought to like old Willie Nelson. He's a down-to-earth guy.
So who done the best version of Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain? Would you go with Willie?
I go with Willie.
Okay. There's a lot of people that have cut that song.
Yep. I have to go with Willie.
Angie says you need to back up there that all the spinoffs from Happy Days worked it. Laverne and Shirley. Mork and Mindy.
Now, Mork and Mindy did. No.
Wasn't there one more that was a spinoff of Happy Days, or am I thinking too far into it? I know it was
Laverne and Shirley. Laverne and Shirley, I didn't know they were a spinoff of Happy Days.
The one that flopped, yeah, it was. And the one that flopped was Scott Baio, Joni and Chachi. That was a flop.
Yep. That didn't last long.
But Laverne and Shirley did, and the other one did also. So a few of those.
Well, okay, so one had a good showing.
Yeah, sure did. Now, 1982, I was a kid about 14, and boy, I was discovering what ladies were. And I didn't care that this guy, William Shatner, was the main star. Who could care less? We all worried about this.
Yep.
There she was. Heather Locklear was on there.
I remember that show.
Yeah, and I forget the little dude on the right there, what his name was. Again,
well, I'm the same with you. It was the blonde-headed one that we were interested in.
She played a great part.
Yeah. Didn't pay attention to exactly how good of acting she was.
Yeah, we could care less.
Didn't bother.
It's kind of like The Fall Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to watch it for that.
Yeah, she had several movies there. 1987, and I really thought it was before this, and I had to go back and check this. It became another number one for him on this date. It went number one, and, well, I've got some oceanfront property to say is George Strait went to the top of the charts.
George got some good music, and I saw something the other day that he was talking. He said they tried to get me to change my name when I was my first manager. He said, could you imagine if I'd have changed my name? Who knows if he'd have been as big as he is with what he is now.
Could be called Dusty.
You know,
if you go back
that was a good movie.
It was.
I enjoyed that movie.
It's awful that George Strait never done another movie. And the thing about George Strait is, and y'all got to remember this, there's no hoopla, there's no lights, there's no smoke, there's no jumping around, hooping and hollering. He walks out and he sings and delivers a great song.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And that's the state of music these days. You watch the Super Bowl and you go, I didn't understand a word of that. What was that?
And he doesn't get out there and tell you his political view before he plays his music.
George Strait, to my knowledge, I've never heard him talk about voting or his thoughts.
I hadn't either.
I could care less, because you know what? The boy can sing. I just know Murder on Music Row, and you told it right.
Well, that's how he made his living. It was not his political views that got him where he's at. It was his ability to sing.
Yeah, and boy, he was really good at that.
Yep.
But George, and that's why he's known as the king of country music. He's good at what he does. I have never watched this other movie, Odie, but a lot of people tell me that. Did you ever watch it?
I watched a few of them until I just couldn't. When it just got to where it was just so corny.
That's the wrong one. Let's go right there. Raising Arizona was released on this date. Nicolas Cage, but I never watched that show. I'm told it was funny. I couldn't tell you.
And I think I watched it because of Nicolas Cage was on it.
Did you?
I like
Nicolas
Nicolas Cage. I'm giving it a thumbs out. I'd have to go back and watch it again. It was funny, but I can't remember why. It just really didn't
tickle your funny
tickle
bone?
My funny bone.
Like 3,000 miles to Graceland. We'll do a middle of the road with that.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, after he made it big and he lost all of his money, he took a lot of roles just because he wanted to eat. And he had a lot of bad movies because he had to do something to get some money.
He had to get some money, yeah. He had to find a way to pay some bills.
Yeah.
And then all along come National Treasure.
Oh, boy, wasn't that good?
Man, I love it.
Those were good. It made you think that maybe some of this stuff really exists.
Yeah, maybe they need to send him up there to Canada and see if he can't find the rest of that gold that they've been digging for on that island.
Well, and then of course the Nazi gold train, what is still missing today, billions of dollars that are missing out there somewhere.
I wish that was in my yard.
Wouldn't it be great?
Dig it up, going, ooh, look what I found.
Now, 1999, I quit listening after Gypsies, Tramps, and something else was the name of it, Cher. But I understand this was big in 1999, some 24 years ago. This was number one, and it set a record. 19 weeks at number one, Believe by Cher.
Wow.
Couldn't tell you what that song is to save my soul. I wouldn't know it.
Never been a big Cher's fan.
Not my type. 2014, this hit theaters today, and I really like this if you've never seen it. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Great actor. Just never get into his political beliefs.
No.
It'll really turn you against him.
Well, Liam Neeson. I do not like guns. Well, you made a living on shoot-'em-up movies.
I have never understood that, how actors truly have made millions without...
Yes.
And then they come on there and run it down.
Yeah, that does. Now, I still like his movie. Taken. Awesome movie.
Yes.
But then to turn around and go, I don't believe in guns. And then why are you out here making money off of guns?
Yeah, if you thoroughly don't believe in that, don't play part with that.
Beats anything I ever saw.
Our next headline that happened in 2022 goes to prove no matter how rich and famous you are, you one day finally get fed up with the potholes in front of your house. It would be today that Sir Rod Stewart, 1 year ago today, went out in front of his house with the crews and hired him to, fix the road in front of his house. 77 years old, he was fixing potholes because he says his Porsche wouldn't go down it.
Well, take matters into your own hands.
That's right. Rod was all over it. You can't help but like Rod Stewart.
Exactly.
He has been from point A from 1970 with Maggie May up to If You Think I'm Sexy and You Want My Body, which I never sing in public. Never.
But behind closed doors, you saying you've had a few tones on that one?
I was humming along in the shower with that one. But he did. Wild and Free. I can't remember the rest of them that he had, but I like old Rod. Pretty good old boy.
Yep.
More coming up with Scotty Ray and Odie this morning as we get your Monday underway as it's official spring break throughout the area.
Hi, I'm Nick Lisi. I am owner of Pinch and Tails Crawfish Shack here in Marion, Mississippi. We are located right across the street from the Subway Sandwich Shop, right next to the Little Griddle. If you're a seafood lover, we have the absolute best seafood in town. We carry crawfish, shrimp, lobster tails, raw oysters, snow crab, corn potato sausage, all the fixins. And for all of your special orders and catering needs, please call 601-934-0598. We're located in downtown Marion.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
1932, this became to be, as we would find out. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply opened up. They're opening up, they opened up just a few minutes ago. They opened up at 7:30 this morning. Wow, go by and see them today. Anything that you're looking for as you're out working in the yard this week, the Lauderdale County Farms has it for you there. All these beautiful ferns and flowers. Before long, it'll be Easter. You'll be looking for stuff like that. Maybe you need some grass. You got some of those spots in your yard that, grass will not grow. They got it for you there. The Garden Center, along with all these comfortable chairs and things that are inside. Don't forget, you can get a jacket You also get one of those right now. As we get into turkey season, they got all your calls for you. And boots, make sure you got a pair. Again, the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, dog food and a whole lot more. Horse feed, cattle feed, any type of feed, they got it for your animals there. Drop in, they'll get you fixed up and loaded in your truck, and off you go.
That's it. I got to go buy and get some flour. My wife, we were on the side of the road yesterday.
What were y'all doing on the side of the road, one must ask?
We were going into town, and we got this call, so she was in the truck with me, so we responded to this call.
Yeah.
And so she looks over there in the ditch, and she walks over that way. And I'm like, what is she doing? And the next thing I know, she's picked up a hanging basket. Well, somebody threw it out. This is a good basket. So I called Greg, and I said, hey, as soon as Fred Sanford gets through shopping over here on the side of the road, we'll let you go. And so now I got this hanging basket. So I guess she kept hinting to me yesterday, I got this hanging basket, doesn't have anything in it.
I had an uncle that told me that when as a kid they'd go to the dump. He said sometimes we even forgot to take our own garbage.
Well, she said you can't say nothing. And I'm not as bad now because we don't have the Dixie dumpsters. But I'd go by
if you needed something.
Well, no, I wouldn't go in them unless something was real good. But if it was, but if it's out there beside it, I'd load it up in the heart.
Well, you have to think: can this be used for a deer stand in any shape, form, or way? Can I convert this?
Yes. I've gotten some good stuff.
Some good chairs.
Everything. I found a dishwasher.
Dishwasher. You drug a dishwasher home?
Yeah, it worked.
It did?
Yeah. All you do is plug that dude in, let it go.
My friend, oh boy. Anybody outdone Odie? Anybody got anything better?
Yeah, there's a bunch of y'all out there that's
they just don't want to admit it.
They just won't admit it.
Ty Daniels, happy birthday today. Anita wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it was your birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you there. Somebody mentioned about Don Williams who come out and sit in that chair. Delivered a great song. He was good at that there. Watching from Georgia this morning. Sean Pogue, how are you doing? We certainly appreciate you dropping in and saying hello to us.
Yep.
Now, what weekend would be without more incidents? Well, let's go over here and take a look here and pull up some pictures of what went on. This would be, what is this, Odie?
Had a work van.
Wow, look at that.
It had some ladders on top of it.
I'm thinking they didn't wash the roof of that.
Well, it kind of spun around, so it could have been washed at one time. It got dirty when it was riding on the hood.
And it was upside down. Now, originally, somebody sent me a text and I think there's an 18-wheeler upside down, and it wasn't an 18-wheeler, was it?
It wasn't an 18-wheeler. That's what we got called out to, was an 18-wheeler, and that's a bad section. That's north on 59, right before you get to the merge. So right there, you can see in the.
It's
right there at it. And,
let's pull it back up there.
We didn't have it up. So.
Yeah, right there in that curve, and you're coming into.
Yep. Coming into Meridian there. So
we have a lot of fender benders there, don't we?
A lot of them. And most of them are 18-wheelers that get kind of squirrely through there. So when that came in as an 18-wheeler, we definitely thought that it could have been, and then we found out it was a van.
I was coming along yesterday. I had to go pick up some, and we'll have a news story today of a business that is closed. We'll have that out here in a little while. But we couldn't help but notice, what's that in the middle of the road here on Highway 19? And whoops. Trying to get to Marvin's, and we had an issue there.
You picked a fine time to leave me, loose wheel.
Yeah, and it was gone. That tire, let me back up and show this picture. This tire ended up right here down at Green Light Motors. It went a long way.
It went a while, didn't it?
It just kept rolling and rolling and rolling as we looked at that. Another view there, the vehicle there, and boom, it happened just like that. Incidents happen. Here's a different view of that. Let me see here. I think we got, Here's the police. Boy, the all Meridian Police Department working hard yesterday. Oh, I didn't hit the button. Let's see. Here we go.
There we go.
But no serious injuries, thank heavens.
That's good.
But on the scene there, here's another view of that. I don't have a wheel on my car anymore.
No, you might need a wrecker.
Yep, I believe that's what happened there.
Yeah. I tell you, it's misjudging or whatever took place there. I don't know. Somebody pulled out thinking that they were going to be quick enough, and
just didn't happen.
It doesn't take long.
We had another one here. This would be at the intersection, getting on I-20. Did somebody say something about this thing? Who designed the Texas turnaround?
Yeah, and I agree with you. That's almost the worst thing that's been done. It just I hate the Texas turnaround too.
Yeah, you get lost in that, and everybody, it's like that.
4 lanes of traffic, and everybody's got to go to the other side.
Yeah.
Real smart.
There you go. Over the weekend down at the Temple Theater, a lot of things happened there. The Sicconaci Review was underway. Jackie Jack White and the gang had a great, fantastic show. I had a lot of comments of people that just really enjoyed themselves. Jack does a fantastic job of putting shows on for the area.
Yes, he does. And brings in local people to come sing with him. So
yeah.
Always real nice to have Jackie Jack putting something on like that.
A lot of gunfire, and I'll focus on this one. We didn't mention them all, but let's pull this up. Here's what we happened. This happened at Village Apartments. This would be Front Street Extension, right down from where Bowers Auto is, the apartments there before you get to where what used to be the Dixie Station where you're going up toward the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Drive-by shooting would take place there as gunfire rang out. 2 different locations from a Charger. It's not 100% confirmed that the car was used in both, but it was a white Dodge Challenger that would drive by and unleash a hail of bullets. Now, no one was hurt or injured in this, but we could be having a different story, a headline with this. If you see something that happens like this, it was people running from the store, people running from the apartments. It went on up the road, done some more gunfire on Highway 39 at another apartment complex. It was all over this. Friday was our biggest safety concern when it come to gunfire. It was one thing after another on Friday. Will it continue? We don't know. We try to stay on top of this to keep you informed so that you won't be injured with this stuff that goes on.
Yeah, that's we could definitely have something more than just gunfire that comes out of this, and that's the last thing we want. You know.
More on the way with Scotty Ray and Odie as we start your morning today. We had someone ask about Deb. Deb's still under the weather. Voice problems is what she's having. She got a cold and having a rough time with her voice there.
Still keep your prayers going for her.
Yeah, she sure needs it there. We'll be right back.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
And welcome back as we start your day. We want to say a big thank you to the Rock House Gun and Pawn, our big sponsor of headlines and stories that happen each day. We couldn't do it without them. JT said we even need to move forward and get us a body armor sponsor.
Well, right now, all these gunshot reports come up, brought to you by Rock House Trading Post. Come by your refill.
Actually, we do now have a sponsor of that. We'd like to say a big thank you to Interstate Auto, giving us a crime alert. They are now on top of that with us, helping us provide that information to you.
Good deal.
Big thank you, guys. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, something that's coming up tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Make sure to join us. We'll go live with this as we'll have a special guest in the studio. As look at this, Team Kelly, as our very own right here from Meridian, has made it to the national scene as Holly will be on the stage of The Voice. Folks, this is big.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to Holly, get all behind. And what goes on with this, it's got to be a little different than what we see. And was Blake nice or was he not? The question.
Yeah.
I keep getting asked that a lot.
That would be interesting. Why didn't he turn around?
And as she showed him the picture of, hey, I opened the show for you, he did just kind of seem to, well, okay.
He said, oh, wow. And then that was it.
It wasn't a lot of enthusiasm. Was he having a bad day? Had his wife yelled at him, or was it one of the 15 ex-wives that may have gotten mad at Blake? We don't know.
True. Or could he be mad that Miranda Lambert's not his wife anymore?
Could be. I mean, some folks say that the one he's got now is. Well, she's pretty. She's a big singer.
Gloria.
However you say that last name.
Stefan.
We're not real sure.
Yeah, not real sure.
But
she's not my cup of tea.
No, mine either. There, but she's there. So we look forward to this interview tomorrow night, and I hope you will join us for the big deal. Don't forget this: if you're out and about today and need some gasoline, our folks at Maples is there for you. From a cold drink to taking care of anything that you might want there. You need something to eat this morning? Ooh, look at that! Great food at the Chevron at St. Paul and out at the Collinsville location. Can't miss it there. Lunch is coming up today. Save yourself some money. Loyalty, coffee, cold drinks, they're all scattered across town. We hope you'll drop in and visit with our friends because they do have so much to offer you there. From the Bonita, the Pine Springs, Collinsville, all the way up to our friends at Broadmoor, Last Chance, and 31st Avenue. Heap of them in town to keep you taken care of.
That's right. I'm liable to go to that one in Collinsville. Lunch. I done got hungry now.
It will do that to you. Let's see here. We had somebody, always pretty neat there for somebody to make it big. Somebody started a business in Vicksburg, Mississippi during the pandemic. They were bored, started making soap, and is starting to catch on nationally. That is fantastic.
And
Muddy River Soap is the name of it.
Well, they have a lot of mud since the river went down.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Always, when everybody says I make my own soap, I think of Granny at the Beverly Hillbillies out by the swimming pool, making her.
Well, you mean the concrete pond?
The concrete pond. Can't beat that.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a good show.
It was. It's a shame that we don't have more things like that.
Yeah, it really is.
We're coming to the end of our time. There was a lot of things we didn't get to. Yeah, it's flown by. Man. We'll be back tomorrow morning beginning at 7 a.m. bright and early to bring you the latest headlines from you. And again, a big thank you to our friends at Rock House Gun and Palm for bringing that to us as we start this day. You do whatever Amy tells you to do today.
I always do. That way I can make it back tomorrow.
We'll see you then. And again, God bless and thanks for being a part of this and making it so successful. We couldn't do it without y'all. See you tomorrow morning bright and early.
Bye-bye.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.